Has this ever happened to you? I'm stuffed. Time to head home. Aw, man. No boat again?
Let's take the boat. Oh man, bees in my boat again?
Man, I wish I had a way home, but it's all the way across the river.
Well, I gotta go quick. Oh, I don't have a boat. I need a boat. Oh.
Never be without a boat again. Come down to Speedboats, where it's always boats week.
Speedboats? That'll do the trick. Thanks, Cone.
Speedboats are free? Oh my god. Can we... What?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mindcrack server. I am recording a Let's Play? What? Alright, I know it's been a lot of the introducing series lately, but that's a series that I'm very excited about. Not to say that I'm not excited for doing Let's Plays as well, although those are pretty much just Let's Plays, aren't they? Aren't they? Really? I think they are. But yeah, I've been pretty much trying to get those out as fast as possible because there's a lot of people to get through and a lot of people want to do it. And it's one of those things that I gotta kind of strike the iron while it's hot. You know, this is still new and fresh, and I think it makes the most sense to get those done whilst everybody is still playing, for one, and whilst people are looking for who they might want to watch. There's quite a few new people and some older, OGs to maybe check out that people didn't check out before. So it's something I want to get through pretty quick. That's enough excuses out of the way. How about some more excuses? I'm over here working. I think I'm going to work actually on my house today. I am going to try to give myself an actual place to live. I have just been a man of the land since this server began. Kind of started with the port and the canal stuff first. It was a thing that needed to get done, but now I would like to give myself a little abode over here to have a place to put my chests for one, a place to put a bed, and a place to call my own. So that's the goal. You can see I started the port a little bit, laying out the concrete. This is the finalized design, I guess you would say, but I'm going to continue it this way and add some lanterns, street lights. I don't know what you would call them. Some decorative lighting going off of the anvils too. For today, I'm going to be working over here on this hill. I actually kind of crafted this hill. This hill didn't exist naturally, and I haven't decided if I need more hill or not just yet. I'm gonna try to lay out the basis of my house, and we'll see if I need to extend it out. Looking at it from up here, seems highly likely I'm going to need to make it bigger, but we'll see. I'm gonna knock this bit down here. And I think what I'm going to do, because my house is going to be very small, I'm going to go underground for the chests and the kind of storage part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging under here in order to give myself a place to put chests. And I don't think I want to go crazy far deep. I do need to bring up my sounds. I've been doing some things that required friendly mobs to be down, so let me bring that back up. It actually just occurred to me that it's been so long since I've recorded that YouTube watchers don't even know about speedboats yet. I completed my first ever store. So here it is. I dreamed of having just a stack of boats ready for people to take, and it was just going to be like a cute little display. And then of course chat bullied me. Encouraged me to try to do some redstone. So this is literally the very first redstone style project I have ever done, and I would not have gotten close to this level of goodness without Panda and Javeer's help guiding me along through a redstone journey. So basically, you can get in a boat, And when you leave, a new boat replaces it. But not just that. Boats are so fixed. Boats couldn't be more fixed. So if you just keep taking boats, new boats will appear. And not only is it, putting in new boats, dispensing new boats, it is set up to be an auto crafter. So if it should run out of boats, it will be able to make new boats to put into the system. And that is all contained up here. And if you want an explanation as to how any of it works, please don't ask me. But it does work, mostly. I can load in boats here. If I happen to see them stacked up over here, then I will go ahead and just, load them back in. But if this chest... Oh, people have been using boats because it ran out of spruce. I'm going to fill this up with spruce. And it will auto-craft new boats to fill the system up. Visually, it's probably not the most crazy, intricate build in the world, but it's pretty much exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to look like a Carvana car dispenser, and that's pretty much what it looks like. I would like to do banners up there that say speed boats, but I haven't gotten around to it. And from what I hear, making banners, like making the letters, is a royal pain in the butt. So I've been encouraging, every time I see somebody on the server, I'm like, hey, if you need a shop idea, it'd be a great idea to have banners, for sale. People can copy your letters and stuff. I think this is Dark Fan. Yeah, those are some darn good looking letters. So I don't know, maybe someday someone will have that. I don't foresee me having the time to make those banners, but there you go. Cone made a store, and then it's free for everybody to use, but tips are welcome. This will only accept diamonds. Don't tell anybody, but my plan is to eventually make this so that if you put anything other than diamonds in here, like eggs or wheat, a little dispenser here shoots you in the face. Let's see. Is there any tips today? No tips. Well, that's okay. We've gotten I think 30 something diamonds in tips so far, so it's been good. And I don't know. I'm bad at business. Okay, listen. What can I say? Back to base building. The inspiration that I have for this project is Calypso's School, or the school from Bluey. Yeah, that's right. I'm a 30-year-old, 38, 37. I just went over this yesterday. I think I'm 38, 30-year-old man that's about to use the inspiration of a children's show for their build. But at least I have the built-in excuse of having a nearing 3-year-old daughter. That makes it okay, right? Oh, do I not have the fortune pick on me? I'd love to fortune this coal. I don't think that I'm going to be able to replicate the appearance of this school per se, but it's a building, it's a structure that I really love the way that it looks, and I think it would be a nice looking little house over here. So I'm hoping to at least get somewhat close. Abapic. I got Abapics for days. Maybe I never put fortune on a pick. I did not. How much does it cost? But at what cost? Let's see. 7, but I'm at 6. That's so close. That's fine. I'll go over to the mayor's manor and grab a level. If only I had a boat on me. I need a boat loader everywhere. If I had the ability, I would love to build these just all over the server, or maybe even take requests. Contract me to build you a boat loader, because now that I know how to do it, I could replicate it. I could do it. It's doable. That would be fun. So maybe that's something we could do. Oh my God, is it really bedtime, or bedtime on the server? Is it bedtime for reals, or no? All right, well, this is a very noisy place to be, but we'll do this. I gotta say, the mayor's manor, despite the dirt, or maybe even because of the dirt, really lovely build. I quite like this. It's that classic Minecraft style that I very much so dig. That didn't get me up to 7, huh? I was sure it would, but maybe this... Yeah, I was holding the axe, so... we'll fix the axe a little bit. I still don't know how I feel about villager trading and this whole system that has taken over how Minecraft is played. You no longer really mine for resources very much. You no longer, grind out levels and things like that. You just lock up some villagers and use them for their trades in order to get your stuff. It's different. It is different. It's certainly not the Minecraft that I'm used to, and it does somewhat. I don't want to say it cheapens the game, but it makes. Oh, I don't know if I closed everybody up. Hold on, let me go back in. It makes the game play a lot faster. Like the amount of time it takes for people to be wildly geared up. Okay, we're good. Is certainly very reduced, and it kind of makes the challenge go away once villager trading is unlocked. But on the same shoe of a different foot that you put in your hand, it makes the game way easier to play, and you can do massive builds and huge projects and stuff like that without it being so incredibly grindy. So it's like, yeah, I want to be kind of curmudgeon-y about it, but also it makes the game and servers like this possible, especially for people that have lives and don't have a lot of time. Oh man, the community farm is gone. I was coming over here to steal some potatoes. Do I have diamonds on me? Nope. Have to steal from the Abba supplies. I'll have to do some potato farming after I'm done recording or something like that. All right, what was I doing? I was putting fortune on this pick. I actually really like that these anvils are getting some wear and tear on them. Oh, Minecraft sound's back on. I don't know, it kind of adds to the visual appeal along here. And I don't know, if the anvils get used up, then they're easy enough to replace now that iron is infinite. Again, going back to the somewhat broken, to me, mechanics of the way Minecraft works now. Now I can use this pick. I should have named it to get this coal. Yeah. This natural coal, I'm not gonna waste it. I'm gonna get all the coal I can get out of it. 26. Always be needing coal. But anyway, where was I on this road, on this journey we were on? Talking about Bluey. Yeah. So not only is it just a build that I really, really like, I really enjoyed the aesthetic of that building. I gotta admit, Bluey is fantastic. I didn't know. I knew of the show, before Parenthood, but I didn't know how much I would need that show. I didn't know how important it was to parents. Like, I thought it was just a show that, was extremely popular for kids. And there's a bunch of shows that are extremely popular for kids that adults gravitate to, like your My Little Ponies, or your, I don't know, back in the day, your Ninja Turtles, or your Power Rangers. These were shows that parents also ended up watching and becoming fans of. It's not the same. It's not because it's like, it's not that it's reminiscent of, adult shows. They do a little bit of that, like throwing in themes that are more suited to adults that go over kids' heads. But the biggest thing is, it is a show that empathizes strongly with the act of parenting, and not just the act of parenting, but the act of parenting today, like the act of parenting in today's world. And that's something that's wildly different than the world that, like, even my parents, grew up, or even like what what did I say? 38? Yeah. Even my friends growing up, or my friends when I was in my 20s that had kids, I can see how much different things are now versus then. Like it's a constantly changing thing, and that show is it's really an amazing experience of both catering and being, I feel like, a pretty good influence overall. It feels like it's a good influence for kids that watch it. There's a lot of themes about, basically, I would call it emotional maturity, dealing with the emotions that you feel, and disappointment and jealousy and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's fantastic for that aspect, but also just a degree of sympathy for parents too. It does a lot to soothe some of the anxieties of parenthood of today and the amount of pressure. There is an immense, I feel, a lot of pressure put on parents today that comes from wanting to do better, like wanting to do better than they felt like their parents' generation or their parents' generations did, and keeping up with the new norms and stuff like that, and just wanting to be involved instead of just being an authority of your kid's life. Being part of your kid's life is kind of it doesn't sound like it's anything novel, but it's kind of a new thing. Like that's not historically the way parenting was handled, and it's a concept that is still new to a lot of people. I think one of the common phrases these days is bedroom generation raising a living room generation. Like kids being part of the family, and parents being part of the family, instead of just being a responsibility. It's a very different atmosphere. It's a very different world. The criticisms that I hear, and I even hear from like my parents' generation or so. Like my parents don't know too terribly much about it, I don't think. Oh, I have some lanterns on me. That'll work for now. But to them watching the show, it feels aggravating because it's like, it feels unrealistic. It feels unrealistic to be that involved in your kids' lives, like spending so much time of your life, playing and being part of their games or their stories and whatnot. I get it. I know why they feel that way, and it's because that wasn't the norm to them. Like that wasn't either possible or wasn't part of their psyche. That wasn't how they were expected to behave. And a big thing that I think a lot of people miss and maybe misinterpret, and this is possibly due to the always-on nature of content now. Like, instead of it being like, hey, there's an episode of this on, let's watch it, there's 24/7 streaming channels and streaming services where people are just non-stop showing episodes. It can make it feel like you're seeing their day, like you're seeing those characters' entire day. But the reality is you're seeing 7 minutes of their day. Like it's a snapshot of the day. It's not their whole lives. And the part that I really started to kind of resonate with and started to enjoy the most was seeing the cracks, seeing the imperfections. And I think that's the stuff, that's the aspect of the show that gets missed by people, that I think should be the most appreciated, is that there's a degree of realness in there, like how it really is, that parents are not always perfect, and that's not a problem. Like, that's okay. It's okay. Like, we teach our kids all the time that it's okay to, make mistakes and not be perfect. But I feel like, especially in the more recent, I guess I'll just make all new chests. The more recent generations, the expectation is that parents are perfect and that everybody should be striving for perfection, kids and parents alike. And that's not a realistic expectation. That's not how it is. And it will never be that way. It's just impossible. Life is way too hard for that. All right, I just did this by random. Let's see how my spacing is. Is it gonna be? Nope. There's one extra. There's one extra row. What do I want to do about that? I could go out one further this way, I think. Yeah, let's do that. See, I'm not perfect. And that's okay. And yeah, I'm not like throwing this show up on like some kind of pedestal or anything like that. It's just something that through the challenges that I have faced in parenthood has brought me ease. It has made things easier for me, and I would say has in some ways acted as a little bit of a role model. Like, it's given me the inspiration to strive to do better, not just for her, but for me, for my wife, for my family. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack in there. It's a lot of big heavy feels, but also just some great messaging, some great lessons. What happened? How did that happen? That I appreciate greatly. I think one of the most overused expressions that I can remember from growing up was "it's okay to not be okay," and that's kind of been overused to the point of it feels like satire now. It feels sarcastic, but I do feel like the thing that has helped me the most from that is, that it's okay to not always be perfect as a parent, and hopefully I think it also passes that lesson along for kids, that it's okay to have imperfections. It's the intent that matters. There we go. That's a better fit. Do I want to do a gap? I prefer it when there's a gap rather than all the way up. Yeah, let's do that. I've probably talked too much about my journey with parenting. It's probably something that is a turn off for some people. I know not everybody shares the same sentiment. Oh, that doesn't work. Or enthusiasm for parenting or for kids, and that's fine. That's not something that I judge people too strongly about. But everybody had parents, even if they were bad. You had parents. Like, you can't exist without having them. So it's still something that I feel like is relatable to everybody, even if parenting is not something that's part of your life. Having parents was, and yeah, it just, I don't know. It's something that I have become increasingly passionate about, and I just want to be. I want to be the best I can be, but I also want to be the best I can be for me. Like, I want it to be a positive experience for myself, so that, because I think if being a parent seems like something that is good, kids pick up on that, and I do feel like it's something that I have realized in growing up, is that I think a reason that I've kind of grown to have a decent relationship with my parents and have a lot of respect for them is that they never made me feel like I was a problem, like I was a reason for the struggle, or I wasn't I wasn't the problem. The problem just affected us. Like the problem was the struggles of life. I mean, I've talked about the fact that I kind of at times felt like a burden through the fact that I was a pretty sickly child, and you know, as I grew older, I understood what that meant. I understood that the fact that obviously put, you know, more pressure on them. They had more responsibility than if they had quote unquote, you know, normal kids. But I never felt that from them. Like, that was my own observation. That wasn't me implying from them that I was some kind of burden to them. And that's something that I absolutely want to carry on. Like, that's a legacy thing to me. Like, that's really, really important. And to wrap it back in, I do feel like the show does its best to emphasize that point as well. All right, is that still open? Yeah. Trying to get a little funky down here. This is not inspired at all by the structure I'm going to be trying to mimic. So this is all purely my creativity at the moment, and I'm just trying to do a little spicy spice down here. Oh, that worked out perfect. Nice. All right, how do we get lighting in here? It's getting dark. Because I can't hang it off of these. That's going to get too low. If I hang it off of that, it's head height, but it's still too low. Oh, well, that's kind of nice. Maybe I just do that at both ends. So, beep, beep, boop, 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 beep. That's going to poke through, but that's totally fine. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Cool. What about more stairs around it? I would have to backfill the dirt in a little, but it would be a little accent. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And it's a little bit of a cone shape. Sick. This is very much so how I build. I'm much more a carver. You know, I kind of just start building and work in details as I go, rather than having every single little detail planned out. I like the process of finding the look as I go. That's just kind of how I've always done things. And even in like real life art, I found that I much preferred that way as well. Once I got into doing like more 3D stuff like ceramics, or even like pastels. Like pastels, it's kind of like an additive process. Like you're constantly moving the media around. You're constantly moving color, pushing color this way or that way, and then mixing other colors in, rather than it being a game of precision and you know perfect execution. That's not the way I tend to enjoy doing art. This looks awesome. I love this. All right. Well, there's my nice little storage cubby. I guess I'll start moving everything over. I guess I'll get a bunch of signs, and we'll start organizing. To go back to the show a little bit, the thing that I think is probably harder to take is the perfect world situation that it presents. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens that, unfortunately, life just doesn't typically work that way for people. You know, it doesn't usually work out. And for example, like the school, like it's a super open format. They're allowed to, you know, be out in the wilderness. They have lessons kind of on the fly and a little less structured. That's a life that I would love for kids. That's something that I think I would have done a lot better in the schooling system had it kind of worked that way instead of the super structured way. So it's a little bit fantasy in that regards, but it's certainly a fantasy that I I yearn for. Like I would love for it to work that way. Let's actually do planks. We'll do, so all the planked wood would be over here, and I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and then we can do that as we go. I don't need it to be super organized, but just a little bit better would be nice. But even in the episodes where they feature the school, their teacher, who is known, sorry, I know this is probably something that literally none of my viewers have any maybe Brian, have any relation to or experience with. So I'm speaking about a bunch of random nonsense to you, but their teacher, who is known as Calypso, the amount of focus that is put on emotional maturity and emotional like awareness and growth is the stuff that I felt like never happened for me as a kid. Like emotions in school were purely just a frowned upon thing, and it always felt like something that you were supposed to find out the hard way how to deal with that stuff. You were supposed to harden the F up, basically, and instead of dealing with those thoughts and those emotions and how to grow with them, how to be, comfortable with them, it was something that was a little bit more tucked away, and you shouldn't really discuss too much. I love the idea that our world is maybe moving away from that logic a little bit, moving away from that feeling. I would love for that to be the case, and the show gives me a little taste of that. It gives me the ability to imagine a world a little bit where that existed, and hopefully it helps inspire a generation of people that continue to improve that stuff, because it is something that is improving. I've said it before. I've had this conversation with chat on Twitch. My Twitch audience is mostly older. Like, aging millennial is probably the median age of the people that watch me. And I am one of the few people that I see within my community, especially, or I guess probably even just a lot of the communities that I watch. I am a defender of the future generations. I feel like, honestly, when I interact with Gen Z or Alpha or now whatever Bean's generation is, there's, when you're older and you're dealing with the younger generation, there's always going to be frustration because they're growing up in a different world to you. It's just a completely different experience for them versus you. So you're gonna feel lost a lot of the time. You're gonna feel like you just don't relate at all, and then I think that builds some resentment. I am striving to try to ignore that feeling. Like, I have it happens, but I'm trying to push that feeling, aside, and just pay attention to the finer details of the way they interact with each other, the way that they generally support each other, and that's where I think the difference lies. Like the amount of empathy for one another and the amount of, I don't know, shared compassion for stuff is totally different, and I like that. I think that's a really, really positive change, and I hope it's something that can continue. I hope it's something that I just continue to watch grow within the future generations. Is truly understanding and caring about each other and just letting each other be themselves, and not just pushing to harsh the vibe and send people towards norms. And yeah, I mean, I'm just like, even my cousin's 10 years younger than me, we grew up pretty close. Like, I watched him a lot growing up, and it has been really interesting watching him mature. He actually became a father before I did, and watching just the way he interacts with his child and the way he interacts with the world around him. Yeah, I just feel like they're going to be okay, you know? They understand each other and how to support each other better. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's got it right. No generation is the best. Sorry, greatest generation. It's just a matter of the evolving emotional intelligence that I feel like maybe my generation and older don't understand and don't see in the future generations. And I hope that they get the respect that they deserve for that. There. That's a good start. That's a good start for the stuff that I have. Oh man, I had 28 chests. Why was I making more chests? Good lord. Alright, well, I've been recording for quite a while. It's almost the end of Bean's nap. And I feel like I've gotten basically nothing done, but I don't know. It's a pretty nice looking little basement. It's a start. It's a start. We'll get to building this actual house next time. I sure hope. I hope some of my rambles made any semblance of sense. I hope you continue to enjoy introducing Mindcrack. I am absolutely loving making it. My goal is to get some OGs in this week. We had a couple new people, so I'm hoping to get some OGs up next. Life continues to be an absolute insanity streak for me. I kind of got into a little bit about just the effects of parenting on me and that stuff. I can't even begin to tell you how much different it's been versus what I expected, and the challenges and struggles that have come with that, and the wins and unexpected victories that have come with that too. So next time I think I'm going to try to push a little closer into that side of the topic as we continue on Calypso School over here. But I believe that is it for me today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.
If I only had a boat, what will I ever do? If only my horse could swim.
Okay, you're not making the ad. This is bad. This is bad for business.